Welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the SwitchBot new S20 robot vacuum mop. We've already reviewed its older sibling, the S10, and found it to be a fantastic robot for the price, with surprisingly advanced features. I'll link to that video in the card above if you want to check it out later. At first, the S10 and the S20 look like very similar robot vac mops, and on paper the S20 even boasts noticeably better specs. So you'd naturally assume that it's a direct upgrade. But if that's the case, why is SwitchBot still selling the S10? And why is it more expensive? That's exactly what we'll unpack here. In this video, I'll show you what you get in the box, walk you through the S20's key features, compare it directly with the S10, and quickly cover off how to add to the SwitchBot app. Then I'll share my real-world observations and wrap up with who the S20 is actually for, and whether it deserves a spot on your shortlist. I'll also give you a few alternatives that you might want to consider. So suction to the max and let's dive on in. Inside the box you'll find the robot itself, the base station, an anti-spill mat for the dock, the usual cleaning brush, a spare side brush, which does look a little odd at first, but that two-arm design is exactly how it ships, and we'll show you the advantages of using it later on in the video. The base station stands 460mm tall, 380mm wide, and 234mm deep, so it's definitely on the larger side, but in line with other models in this category, and houses an integrated 2.7 litre freshwater and 2.5 litre wastewater tanks. Both tanks are accessible from the top and lift out easily for refilling and emptying. The unit I have here is the standard version and cannot be plumbed into your home's water supplies, though SwitchBot does offer a shorter plumbed-in variant. The S20 robot itself shares exactly the same footprint and layout as the S10, measuring 360mm across and 110mm high, and that includes the fixed LiDAR turret. Unlike some higher-end models such as the Mova Z60, which features a retractable periscope, the S20's LiDAR module remains fixed in place. The S20 comes in two main docking station configurations. First off, there's the all-in-one dock with the clean water, wastewater and dust collection. Perfect if you can't or don't want to plumb it into your home. If you do want a full automatic, there's a shorter alternative base that connects directly to your household plumbing. This combo gives you the best of both worlds and plenty of flexibility depending on your setup. And if you want the ultimate setup, and this is the package you get with the S10, you can go for the optional super low profile plumbed filling station for loading fresh water and unloading wastewater, all from a concealed docking station, although you still need one of the other docking stations to automatically unload the refuse. Next up, and arguably one of the most important parts of any Vac Mop robot, is its mopping performance. The S20 uses a single roller style mop instead of the more common spinning discs, and in practice it delivers excellent results. Thanks to its patented RinseSync system, the S20 actively cleans its rollers as it goes along. It first wets the mop, then scrubs, rinses and squeezes, and then drains it out, so you're always cleaning with a fresh roller instead of just pushing the same grime around. The vacuum side is just as impressive. With 10,000 pascals of suction, the S20 can generate around 1 kilogram of additional downward pressure on top of its own weight. If you've used a robot vacuum before, and especially if you live with pets or people with long hair, you know the constant battle of cutting hair out of the roller and side brush. This is where that unusual two-armed side brush really shines. I've been using the S20 now for a few months, and I'm happy to report that the side brushes have no hair on them at all. The same is mostly true of the main brush underneath. You do get some hair, but it's dramatically less than other robots I've used, and it's much easier to remove. And of course, no modern robot would be complete without AI plastered all over the spec sheets, and the S20 is no exception. Its AI vision can recognize up to 100 types of obstacles and plot around them. Because it's a learning model, the more it runs in your home, the smarter the navigation and obstacle avoidance becomes. Eventually, it will know your floor plan better than you do. Robot Vac Mop must be able to handle all floor conditions, so the S20 is equally at home on wood floors, tiles and carpets. Better still, it will auto-detect the type of flooring and adjust its suction power for optimal cleaning. I found this particularly satisfying as it transitioned from wood floors to rugs and listening to the increase in suction that the deep cleaning brings. Another of the S20's killer features is its ability to remove excess water from its mop and lift the mop up into the body of the S20, preventing any snail trails from where it's been. This feature alone sets the S20 shoulders above its competition in its price range. Now usually I run my robot at night for the living areas and at the weekends for the bedrooms, and that's where this next feature comes into its own. The S20 has a quiet mode, so it doesn't disturb anybody. So not only is it super quiet, it actually picks up as well. Sure, not as good as the powerful mode, but good enough to have a clean floor in the morning, especially if you have run multiple passes. And finally, let's talk integration. If you want to control the S20 with Alexa, Google Home, Apple ecosystem, you'll be fine. It slots in neatly and handles the basics without drama. If you're a Home Assistant user, things are a little bit more complicated. Right now, SwitchBot integrates with Home Assistant via the SwitchBot Hub, which also brings Matter support. Through Matter, you'll get the basic controls: start, stop, pause, and return to dock, but not the full access to the advanced features. The deeper integrations are coming, but Matter still needs to mature a lot before it gets there. If tighter, feature-rich Home Assistant integration is your top priority today, you'll probably be better off with the Roborock models, which currently offer far more comprehensive controls over almost every aspect of the robot. When you look at the S10 and S20 side by side, they kind of feel like two cousins who grew up in the same family but chose very different careers. The S10 is all about infrastructure and automation, while the S20 is very clearly focused on raw cleaning performance and convenience. With the S10, the big story is the plumbing and that dual station setup. You get the main dock for dust and charging, then a separate water station you can tuck away under your sink or in your laundry. It's designed for people who want their robot to quietly look after itself in the background with minimal tank handling, and it plays really nicely into the SwitchBot wider ecosystem, especially the auto-filling humidifier. The trade-off is that the setup is a little bit more involved, and it's really aimed at the homeowner who are really happy to run those hoses and fittings. The S20 on the other hand is SwitchBot basically saying, alright, let's make this thing clean harder and be way easier to live with. You get higher suction, smarter mopping, and a big all-in-one dock that handles dust, water, mop maintenance all in one place. It's less about permanent plumbing and more about giving you a powerful premium robot that can drop in almost anywhere in your home with minimal faff. The downside is that the dock is chunkier and you lose some of that ultra nerdy flexibility that the S10 has with the separate stations. Although you can purchase these for the S20 if you really want. Now let's quickly add the S20 to the SwitchBot application. I'll assume that you already have the SwitchBot application and have created an account and logged in. Also that the S20 is close by to your mobile phone device and turned on with the master switch that's underneath the top plate. Now open the SwitchBot application. Press the plus icon in the top right hand corner. Select Add Device. Your S20 will show up. Select it. Now here is a quirk of SwitchBot. It will ask you to turn on your S20, but the previous step found your S20 via Bluetooth, so it must have already been on. Let me know in the comments if you think this is strange also. Now press Next. Press and hold the Home button and the Mode button. These are the two outer buttons for 3 seconds. You'll hear a message that the device is now in pairing mode. Press Connect Device. Your S20 will now connect to your mobile app and confirm that it has successfully connected. Next, you'll need to connect your home Wi-Fi. Select your 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi from the drop-down and enter in your Wi-Fi password and press Next. Remember that 5 GHz is not supported. If your account is integrated with Amazon Alexa or Google Home, it will show up as a connected via the skill. Update the name and the room for your S20 and press Start Using. Now you are all set to start using your S20, but the app will drop you into the installation guides, which are excellent. Press skip the guides if you don't want to watch them. As with most devices, your S20 will try and do a firmware update if it's straight out of the box. Press Upgrade. Here you have the option to turn on automatic updates. Now this might seem like a great idea for a robot vac, but I would always recommend to control your firmware upgrades to verify the stability beforehand. Make sure that you have more than 20% battery remaining, and press New Firmware Available to start the upgrade process. The upgrade process is quick and takes a few minutes. Once completed, press Finish and you're done. Alright, so where does that leave the SwitchBot S20? For me, this is SwitchBot taking everything they've learned from the S10, packing it into something that's a lot easier to recommend to most people. You're getting seriously strong suction, very decent mopping, a proper all-in-one dock that handles dust, dirty water, mop care, plus the usual SwitchBot smart and app control. Day to day, it does exactly what you want of a robot vac mop to do. Clean your floors reliably with very little babysitting. It's not perfect, the dock is big, so you'll need to commit some space to it. And while it can be plumbed in, it doesn't lean hard into the crazy fully automatic plumbing project angle as the S10. And like most premium robots, once you start adding all those extras, the price tag creeps up into the think about it territory rather than the impulse buy. So who is it for? If you want a better, cleaner, simpler setup and a robot that just gets on with the job, the S20 is the one for you. If you're chasing maximum plumbing wizardry, that's where the S10 still has a little niche. Links to both the S10 and S20 in the description below. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then hit that like button, comment and share. And if you want to have access to similar material, then subscribe or maybe become a channel member and get early access to material plus other perks. And if you want to join other like-minded people, then why not join the Discord channel, where smart home enthusiasts meet to solve each other's issues. And if I've helped you with a purchasing decision, then maybe a super thanks or a PayPal donation. It's really appreciated. Until the next one.